Well, hey there everyone, it's Jon Q here from TechnoBuffalo, and in this video I'm going to cover some very basic video lighting tips. Now you might be wondering, what does this have to do with technology? Absolutely nothing! However, if you're planning on making technology related videos for the YouTube, then you should pay attention, because guess what? Video lighting is just as important, if not more so, than the camera you use to film. That's right. Right now I'm using a Canon T2i to broadcast my awesome self, just kidding about the awesome part, not kidding about the camera, which is usually a step up compared to the camera used by the average YouTuber. But if my lighting setup were to suck, then my video quality would suck. Watch. Dang it. See, everything's all dark and underexposed. It's terrible. Actually, it's not that bad. That's better lighting. It's like sunshine. I can feel the sunshine on my face. Now, I'm pretty sure some of you guys have already searched up some sort of lighting tutorial, and trust me, I do the exact same thing. In fact, I do it all the time, because I feel like I always want to improve, and if you guys are serious about your video quality, you would have the same drive. And on top of that, people like other people who are motivated and have a can-do attitude. And it also helps to give a thumbs up every now and then, at random times. Yeah! So in this video, I'm going to show you my basic lighting setup, what I've tried, what works, what doesn't, what I recommend for you, and yes, oh yes, how you can save the most amount of money to get the best value for your lighting. Are you ready? Okay! The standard style of lighting is called 3-point lighting, which uses 3 main sources of light, obviously. If you can get 3-point lighting to work for you, then great, I recommend that. However, if you're like me and you're stuck in a really small room, getting 3-point lighting to work is quite tricky, and trust me, I've tried. Oh, how I've tried and failed, which is why I don't use 3-point lighting. Ultimately, in the end, if the video footage and the lighting looks good to you, that's all that matters. So here is my basic lighting setup. I have 2 main sources of light, well, technically 3. I have my overhead light, which most household rooms should have. This guy up there acts as my backlighting, which brings me away from the background and puts more focus and attention on me in the foreground. Look at it working, isn't it nice? Look at my shoulder, it's all shiny and everything. The other source of light comes from a really basic floor lamp, which you can pick up for $20 at a Walmart or any hardware store. Make sure it has a gooseneck attachment. If it doesn't, you can always buy a gooseneck lamp with a clamp on it, like what I have right here. For my floor lamp, I have it right behind my camera and the gooseneck lamp pointing right on my face. If at any point you feel like the lights are too bright, try bouncing it off the wall. This is called diffusing, and it softens up the light quite a bit. So if you're ever in this scenario, if this was sunlight, I'm definitely feeling the happy. It's best if you try to diffuse the light. Yeah! If you ever think you need another light source, or if you want to try 3-point lighting, you can try picking up one of these desk lamps right here. It costs about $10, so you can't really go wrong with that. Well, what about natural sunlight, you might be asking? It's all bright, happy, and full of vitamin D. I film in a basement with no windows, therefore there is no sunlight. However, for the purpose of control, I recommend you not use sunlight as your main source of light. Feel free to have it as background lighting though. It's great. Gives you hints of happy and vitamin D. Let's move on to light bulbs. I've experimented with a lot of light bulbs. Standard household light bulbs have 3 basic color temperatures: soft white, bright or cool white, and daylight or sunlight. Soft white is what most people will use in their homes, in living rooms, bedrooms, and so on. It's the one with the orangey hint to it. Bright or cold white is what you might find in an office space or in a garage. It doesn't really have a color hint, but it makes things look rather dull. And sunlight or daylight bulbs, I don't know where you'd find this in an average home, but it has a really strong hint of blue to it. And avoid these unless you're planning on shooting with sunlight. The color temperature of lighting is measured in kelvins. The standard color temperature for lighting in professional film and video is 3200 Kelvin. Soft white is around 2700, cool white is 4200, and sunlight is 5500. Unless you plan on picking up special video light bulbs, or if your department store somehow carries 3200 Kelvin light bulbs, I'd recommend you stick with the soft white ones. As for whether or not to get the old school incandescent light bulbs or the new eco-friendly light bulbs that go in a spiral, it all depends on how much you love the environment and the earth. If you're not sure which color temperature light bulb you like the best, I'd recommend you get the incandescent ones first, just to try it out, because it's 1/10 of the price of the eco-friendly ones. Something I have to stress out is try not to mix color temperature light bulbs, and if you can, make sure all your light bulbs are from the same company. That's because it makes white balancing very tricky on the camera, and it makes things very tricky to color correct in post-production. The last thing I want to talk about is money, because we work hard for our ching-ching, so we want to spend it on some bling-bling, not on light bulbs. Who spends money on light bulbs anyways? I did. Lots of them. Let's just say I went the I want to save money approach, but ended up spending a lot of money doing so. Do you need professional lighting equipment that might cost at least $100? Unless you want to do freelance shooting where you have to appear professional, or unless you like to impress your friends and family, probably not. If you simply want or need more lighting, I'd recommend you get one of these. Yeah! So powerful and manly! For $40 you get 1000 watts of power. That's bang for your buck right there, and believe it or not, this lighting kit is very common with students and low budget filmmakers. Let's see it in action, shall we? Have it set up, pointed at the wall, bang! Nice even lighting right here. Because of how bright it is, I definitely don't recommend you have it close to your face. It hurts so good! As you can see, these guys are very bright and they work extremely well. A downside would be that they get very hot and they use a lot of power. Every time one of these lights is left on for too long, a part of the planet dies. You ever wonder why pandas are endangered? Now you know. So to recap, for good video lighting, all you need are a couple of light bulbs, a house lamp or two, and you're set. Of course, you have to fine tune your setup, as in where to put the lamps, how many light bulbs you need, and so on. If you guys want me to cover anything else that has to do with video production, just let me know by commenting below. Who knows? This can become a Jon / TechnoBuffalo video series, just like what LP did with the Console Wars. LP. What a legend! Well, that's it for now. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later! Yeah!